Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. We are on day 2 of our Christmas in July series, and we're going to be working with this Spellbinders stencil of the month. This is called Holiday Harmony, and it is a 5 stack of stencils. I'm going to take you through here and do a couple different colorways. And for the first 2, we're going to create those and then turn them into some Christmas cards. For the third one, I'm going to stop just short of that 5th final layer of the stencil to give you a look at how this can be used really any time of the year. It's that final layer that adds in our snowflakes, our trees, all things Christmassy. And if you stop after 4, you can really use this for any background that you'd like. What comes to mind for me because of the circles is, of course, birthday, because I think that would make a great background for a birthday card. But I just wanted you to see that you can mix and match. You don't have to use all 5 layers all the time. There's lots of different uses you can get out of just 1, 2, 3, or 4 of the layers of the stencils. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn up the music, let you enjoy the process, and I will meet you back when we start placing our cards together. All right, so now we'll start creating our first card. This is actually the second colorway that we stenciled, and you may have noticed I mixed in some glitter with my Ranger texture paste to just give a little extra sparkle and shine to that top layer. I love the dimension that using the texture paste adds, but this gives it even a little bit more. So I've trimmed that down to 4 by 5.25. I want to have a little bit of a border showing for my card base. And now I have taken just another piece of 4.25 by 5.5 Neenah cardstock, and I'm going to create sort of some rolling snowy hills. So I have taken that and just torn it. You've seen there, I've sort of laid out where I want my sentiment to go, making sure I have enough room. And then I've got all these torn pieces that I'm going to layer together to create our hill. I just love the look that this torn paper gives. It's soft and it's really varied, so you're not getting anything that's predictable. And then you can just add a little bit of art glitter glue. I'm going all along just at the very top or the very bottom, depending on what I'm using, which piece I'm using. And then I will layer these together to create some soft hills. And just a reminder, these don't have to be perfect. That's the beauty of working with this ripped paper. You'll see that this last piece doesn't go all the way across to the edge. That's okay, because hills aren't always exactly the same size. Trim off just that little bit of extra here so I can take this over to my Misty. And I'm gonna stamp out my sentiment. This reads, "It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas." I'm going to stick with my blue theme and use some Lawn Fawn Deep Sea ink to stamp that out. And then I know we already have quite a bit of dimension using our texture paste, but I wanted to add just a little bit more to these hills and place them in the foreground. So we're going to add a little bit of our Scotch foam tape. For this last piece, I'll just cut that in half so it's a little bit thinner for me. Make sure that's down nice and tight with my bone folder. And then we'll go ahead and peel away the backing. And we'll place this down right on top. And you'll notice this is not the same measurement because we used a full 4.25 by 5.5 when we tore this, but that's all right. I'm gonna evenly place this down. It gives me a little bit of leeway to move it left or right until I'm happy and I've got it nice and centered. And then I'm just gonna trim off that little bit of excess. We'll add some art glitter glue to the back of our panel. And then we'll go ahead and place this down on top of our card base. For the inside, I'm just going to keep it simple for this one. We'll add a plain white piece of our Neenah paper. I may add a sentiment later when I decide who I'm going to send this to. And that will complete card number 1. We're going to keep it even simpler with card number 2. I love the way that these colors came out. I was trying to go traditional Christmas, but with a little bit of a twist, going with some off colors for my reds and pinks. And I just love how retro this came out. I think having all of the bubbles and the circles kind of adds to that feeling as well. So I want to let this panel really shine. Again, I've trimmed that down to 4 by 5.25. And we're going to go ahead here and pop this up with some foam tape. Of course, we will peel away the backing. And then I'm going to press this down on top of my card base. Make sure that's down nice and tight. And then for the inside, I'm going to stamp out the sentiment. This reads, "Joy to you and me." And I'm going to use my Simon Says Stamp black ink for that. We'll add some ATG to the back. Place that on the inside of the card base. And that will complete card number 2. Here are a few close-ups of the finished cards. In the description box below, you'll find my blog post, which has additional photos and links to the supplies I've used. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.